are live and it can be done immediate. So for example, if I do unlock the microphone and I will apply it, now you all can share your microphone. So you can, if you joined in as a mic, you can should be able to use your mic. Okay. So just in case to avoid any mishaps like last time, we should lock it, keep it locked. And I'm going to take the also public chat off later on. Okay, so we have roughly 118 users so far. This is a good day, to see that. So let's go and share the video again. And I will mute my mic during that video sharing. This way you can see it and hear it entirely.
Easy and efficient. To see complete streetlight coverage, Eric is connected to a wireless grid that constantly updates all light and sensor activity. Once the sun comes up, the lights go off, and the other functions and sensors continue to work seamlessly 24 hours a day. Mobile and hotspot wireless functionality gives public, private, and city service establishments flexible Wi-Fi functionality, saving carrier customers data and fast-tracking their internet use. This is the true power of having smart poles and smart lights in any city. Eric never has to visit utility meters on site. You can simply garner all the info he needs from the dashboard readings. Audio speakers, microphones, weather and environment sensors, and security cameras help keep things safe, catalog speed violations, read light security to violations, and more. Security zones have complete digital oversight through concealed camera systems. It's another example of AI that helps police keep the peace. Meanwhile, the intelligent media display sends warnings, updates, and general advertisements, keeping all citizens and drivers on the road secure. An automated social media platform covers traffic moving through all commercial and public event spaces, all while monitoring the environmental health of the area and mitigating pollution. Apollo Smart Lights and Apollo Smart Cities offer a true platform which can lead to a more prosperous world. Protect the future. Make the smart choice. Go online to apollosmartlights.com to learn more today.
Okay, so this is sharing a video, so you see the quality, how clear. And what I'm going to do now is actually do a poll. Like last time I said we were going to do polling, we didn't get the chance to. So you will see me now creating a poll for you. So I'm going to say now for the video, okay, sharing video. View here at 12. And now you're going to get a poll to say that if you were able to hear the video well or not. And it's just yes or no. So everybody can poll it. Okay, so now we're waiting for some people to, post their results. We have 113 out of 125. Did everybody see the polling on their screen? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to, since we didn't get everybody, okay, one more. You see the polling. If you see the polling came up on your screen, it will be like a three type of answers: yes, no, and abstentions. And if you see the result that matches your case, you can go ahead and click the right button. So we have 125 and total, and so far 115 answered. So we're missing 10 people. So I'll go ahead and publish it. 116. All right. I did see 3 people said that they did not hear the video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have these people, I'm going to lower everybody's hand, and I want only the people that did not hear the video to raise their hand, and then this way we will see why did they say that. And I'm going to publish the results for now. Okay, as you see, guys, we have 113 said yes, I was able to hear the video, and 3 said no. So Gary, your mic is up if you want to speak, and tell me if you raise your hand because you could not hear the video. Okay, I guess Gary, I opened your mic, Gary, so if you want to speak. I know you're on mobile, but it still can work too from your mobile. And how about, hi Gary, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Did you hear the video that we did share a video from the YouTube, and did you see the video and hear the video well?
I saw the video, but I didn't have any sound.
Okay, you didn't have any sound on your device, or?
Correct.
Okay, so let me try to play it now, and I want to tell me, and I'll keep your mic open. This way you tell me if you are able to hear it now.
Easy and efficient. To see complete streetlight coverage, Eric simply has to use the Apollo Smart Lights dashboard.
So can you hear it now?
I cannot. It could be my tablet. It could be.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I can hear you. So as you see, we're speaking. So yeah, probably some setting on your thing. So no problem. We can test with you later and see, because we now want to know what's the reasons for separate devices that might have an issue. If a specific device is your tablet, is the Android or is it an iOS?
It's an iOS.
iOS. Okay. All right. We'll test from our side. And anyway, do you mind telling me what model is that iOS?
It's just an Apple iPad. I can't recall the exact model.
Is that the small one or the large one?
It's like a 10.2 inch.
Okay, that's a larger one. No problem. Okay. Well, I thank you very much, Gary, and we will test it and we'll let you know. Hopefully, we'll find out if it's from your side or something from our side.
Sure,
Okay?
no problem.
Very good. Thank you. I will block you back again. Okay. So now we lowered Gary's hand and we answered this question. Hopefully we'll resolve that for him. Okay, and I see Miles raised their hand. Let's see who else. Miles L. Let me open your mic. Miles, you're open. You can tell me what you need. Miles, did you see I opened your mic? Okay, well, I guess Miles is not able to talk to us. I would like you back again. Okay, so this is an example of what you see polling and interacting with the viewers and users on the system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my camera so you guys get to see. All right, and I'll put it in high quality. Okay, do you guys see me? I think the chat is open, the public chat, so you guys can, if everybody sees me, say yes. Okay, can say yes, yes, yes. Okay. Very good. Okay, thank you all. So let me just, so we can get better screen, I'll show you also, I'm going to take my camera out and I'm going to share the screen. Okay. I would like to actually want to share an app. Let me see if I can just open that app and share that app, which is just a video viewer, a camera viewer. So now I'm sharing screenshots for you. So so what I'm trying to show you, this is a copy of the Viper Messenger. And this Viper Messenger, as you see, this is an Android version, and soon we'll be coming up with the iOS version. As you see, if you have downloaded our Messenger, you may not see this bottom bar. If you see at the lower side of the lower side of the screen, that blue bar, you see dialer, Teams, and more. So in your version, you may see the dialer, but you will not see the Teams. So what you will see, also some version, I'll show you what else you will not see. So this is a typical chat, the peer-to-peer. I'm just blocking the names and stuff. So you'll see here, for example, I'm calling, this is an actual call. This is call history on the top, and this is the dialer. And if you see in the back, in the bottom, you see CDRs and rates. You do not see that in your case. And here, this wheel for setting to add money. And I will show you, this is, for example, you can add money to your dialer and services. So you can call. And this is what the rate sheet to when you want to select a country. So you drop down the list. So now we're showing Afghanistan. You can drop list and see everybody, all countries, I mean, and see the rates for mobile and land. And then this other word says CDR report. CDR is a short for call detailed record. And that means you make calls and it will record your history as if you're getting your phone bill. So everything is online now. Instead of getting a phone bill and you want to see your records, who did you call, how much it cost you, what did you pay, and what have you, and this is what it looked like. So the CDR will show you the actual date, the phone number you called. Of course, as you see, I blocked some of the numbers I called, and the duration, and then the cost. Okay, and then the last part that you see here in the bottom, I told you Teams. If you have this dialer, this version, once we load it for you, maybe next week or two, if you click on that Teams, you will see this. And you can log in from your mobile directly, so you don't have to go to browser and what have you. And then you will get directly into the Viper Teams. Okay. So I stop sharing again. All right, and now you can add presentations, as you see. So this, what you see, this slide and this original slide, those are like a form of presentation, and we have 6 of them. So the first one shows you the original, then the second one, that's where you can do the screen sharing. So for example, now I will have some of our people working with us, I will have them share the screen. So let's, I'm gonna ask Amjad and Bassem to try to draw with me. Oh, all right. So we have a bunch of people drawing. Okay, I didn't mean to share with everybody. All right, I will. So let's clear that. I'm gonna share. This guy and this guy. So only a few people. Sorry, I shared with everybody, but so now so I'll take the purple color and let me see, I can add also Mike. So we have 4 people now. Okay, and you can type and do whatever. This is a functionality that a lot of people in the market don't have this function, and I don't know why, but it used to be a popular function. So we do have it, and we do allow it. As you see, we allow sharing the board, allow sharing. Now, so for example, if I flip from this slide and I go to slide 3, nobody can write anything anymore until I share. So I can share with different people. So I can allow different groups of people to actually share the screen and share the whiteboard. Okay, and other important feature is you saw the polling. That's also interesting that to be used in different situations. We have so far 138 users, which is a good number for test shots. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna open the floor, okay, to Bassem, and Bassem, he is working with us on the smart cities. And he can give you some update, and I will give you guys an update. As I promised, I'm gonna give some updates on the projects that we have. And if there's any questions, then we will open the floor for some questions. So I'm going to give the floor to Bassem. Bassem is actually working with us. He's in Ohio side. Okay, I see Timothy. I'm going to unlock Timothy so until Bassem is available. Okay. Hi, Timothy. I unlocked you. If you want to say anything, so you raise your hand. Okay, I guess I'll lock you back up. Okay, I will I'll mute myself.
Okay. Hello, everyone. If you hear me, raise your hand, please. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So this presentation, we put together about 3 weeks ago, and the target audience for this presentation is cities, municipality, township, mega city, and small cities. And the reason behind that, small cities we are targeting, is the outcome of the COVID. What does COVID have to do with anything with this? It's we have noticed a massive amount of small community emerging as influx of people moving mega cities and going to small communities being built. And that's why you start seeing the real estate market in these cities are increasing, because that's a demand for the housing. Those infrastructure, those cities where they lack the infrastructure is needed, the smart city requirement, and also other facilities, park, recreation, etc. And aside of that is part of the components or part of the business plan is to go after the school districts that have all this, I could call it dead real estate, means they are parking lots that requires where we could deploy our technology in terms of rooftop solars with their power sharing agreements. That model has successfully been deployed in New Jersey. There is a lot of high schools capitalize on the fact that they could monetize the parking lots. I'm going to go briefly and fast over this presentation. This is the smart city, our capabilities, what's built into the smart city solution. It varies between technology in terms of smart light to surveillance with communication protocols. The presentation is going to break down each section. Most important thing is here you see smart digital mobility. That has been a push in the Middle East, particularly UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. And we are gearing up for that technology by self-driving and the intelligence and the data behind it. The solar power generation option, that's the one I mentioned in terms of generating the power by using the dead real estate, I call it. Why? What this has to do with anything smart city? Because they are intelligent solar panels, and the presentation will go after that. Our differentiation here is we have in-cloud or in-premise platform. That's a cyber cloud. Let's go to number 3. This is the functionality built into the cameras. This is the new generation cameras and the intelligent smart lights. That's currently, I would say it's going into complete production availability for certain projects we are deploying. Since we are under an NDA and publicly traded companies, those projects will be announced either in a PR or an actual agreement signed. Cannot tell you the countries or the cities are looking at this technology, and currently it's either in the pilot phase or it is in a contract negotiation. But this is actually one of our advantage here. You can see that we are embracing Wi-Fi 6E, which is the next generation of Wi-Fi. Slide number 4. That will give you a variation of the actual illumination available on the lights. And the most important thing is this one right here, and we will explain how we do it. This is the failure of any technology out there when it comes to street light is the thermal control. Particularly when you're in the Middle East, that high mast, or that's 20 feet high light in the summer, believe it or not, inside is 120 Fahrenheit. So it kills the life of the actual LED. But we have a solution for that. This is a temperature operation. This is engineered, tested by using special graphite. And that's how we get the microcontroller to dim the lights when we reach this temperature control. So we will not compromise the life of the LEDs. We have a pilot, it's public, I could say it, is in Doha, Qatar. It's 20 lights. And this is I think the 2 generation behind. We are working with them to see the possibility of upgrading that pilot into the next generation and engage into discussion. It's installed, it's running, it's available, and we have video to show those lights are functioning. Slide number 6, that's the camera capability and what the cameras could do. That's the most right here. We have 400 gigabytes of data storage on the camera itself, on the board built in on the chipset, or could be downloaded, streamlined, upfeed into actual in-cloud or on-premise for privacy if you want it on in-premise. How we do it? This is the surveillance camera, different variation of camera. You can see 60-degree angle, 90, 105, different variation. And that is a zoom controlled remotely. Each camera is capable of providing this functionality and could be adjusted remotely. And then we have the thermal. That's the thermal images. They can capture the camera at 45 degree. The smart grid integration is, I don't want to call it straightforward. It has a lot of sensors, but these are the 3 major functionality provided by meter reading. Smart grid means you could read your electrical meters, your water meter, your gas meters, utilities, and that's something could be constructed with the utility companies by available that data to them on real time. What's the purpose of that? In the summer months, a lot of cities subject to brownout, not a blackout, brownout. Reason being is because there's no intelligent way to see certain section of the community consuming power versus the other one consuming less power. This could provide the municipality and the power operating companies to rebalance the power without shutting down the power itself. Had we had this technology, we would not have the blackout of 2003 in New York City. I lived through that blackout. Slide 11, let's go back to 10. The communication, how we feed in and out of the smart city technology. This is the actual medium we use, either Ethernet, fiber is available. This is the frequency we operate at, 6E Ethernet, or we are agnostic. We could give you the infrastructure and you could write it. And we could help you to write it by the first slide I put in, the second slide, API integration. This is the IoT technology that it is built into the sensor. Again, we are agnostic. We could take any sensor on the market and integrate it into our lights or on the smart poles. And here's a list, and this is just a subset of the actual list. So if there's any IoT device out there that need to be integrated as a small requirement, a certain municipality, we will interconnect it. Now, this is the interface you see here. That's the controller itself. And that is a real-time capture of data of certain cities by using the smart light from Apollo. This technology here, it is for solar technology for a street light, means you equip the actual smart lights with the solar panel technology to provide one thing, power available to operate the devices and the sensor when there is no grid power on certain hours of the day. Certain municipality, they save power by shutting down the power to a certain segment, going to certain poles. If I have cameras and sensors on that, how do I operate them? We install solar panels. Now, solar panels, we know the problem with most of the solar panels is the aging, or the efficiency factor, and the cleaning of the solar panels. We come up with a solution, and that solution is a wiper blade that goes up and down, and people says, well, people use coating. Oh, great. What happens when you deploy your solar in the equator? That has to be flat or horizontal. The coating will not work. You need to have a mechanism that will be able to wipe the actual solar panels on an interval or by sensor how much dust is on it by calculating the efficiency. That's the cyber grab we talked about. It's all in one platform that beside the functionality is a fintech system. Fareed could elaborate on that and how it's been deployed and where it's been deployed. Also can be used as an interface to the actual smart city. Some components could be applied to the smart city by people tapping into this commercial, I could call it actors, by using methodology other than the Wi-Fi or what have you. These are the power generation technology that it is deployed on the actual solar panels. Beside the fact is BEIT is also another technology that could be implemented. That's a quick presentation. Any question? I am looking at the public chat to see if there's any question. Okay, Miles asked a question, why BEIT and Viper has the same address on their website? I will leave that question to Fareed to answer because that's a part of the JV we agreed to. So Fareed, if you could write down this question and you could answer. Aaron Levine asked question, how long does the pilot program in Doha, Qatar last? The pilot program was installed, quite honestly, in 2013. Now, you jump out of your seat. What happened there? Now, 2013, the Middle East was doing piloting the LED technology. The region went through crisis, went through the ISIS of 2014, went to the embargo between Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE, went through the oil crash of 2014, and went through the geopolitical changes that we've been living for the last 9 years. Only now, 3 months ago, we start seeing the embargoes lifted between Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar and Bahrain and that region. We are back in. We are talking. It's our pilot. We have 20 lights. Believe it or not, this is a testament to the fact that the Apollo light, it's, I would say, superior, and I would say that comfortably. Since we installed the light in 2013, they have not been touched, no service, no maintenance, and they're still up and running and lighting in that particular harsh environment. I hope I answer your question. Yes, who asked the question? Ali asked the question, did you talk to Saudi Arabia? Yes, definitely. That's one of the things that we'll leave to Farid because of the NDA to disclose or not to disclose.
Okay, Bassem, thank you very much. I will take it over, as I did see a lot of the questions that I did promise that I will have to answer those. So I'm going to start with the BIT questions that you guys have. The JV with this company is for the US market in general, and that's why we have their address with us, because that's our JV there. They have at least 4 or 5 other different projects in countries like Kenya, Egypt, Germany, and Malawi. And by the way, that's where we met with them, in Malawi. And we were, working on projects there for lighting, and they were bidding on project for the 50 megawatt power plant, and that's how we had our, local partner there meet with them, and that's how we started the relation probably two and a half years ago. And we do not have the authority to put their information other than our relation. So whatever their office is, whatever their projects, I know they're working on even in Ghana. They have some projects in Ghana. We are not privy to these projects because they are not part of our JV. Okay. Now, once we start back again into the Sri Lanka, by the way, Sri Lanka is multiple different projects are there. We are in a COVID situation in that part of the world. As you probably all know the news, and maybe some of you in that part of the world, between India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and what have you, those countries are getting hit bad, and there is a big ban on travel, even internally. Even our people there in Sri Lanka, they're trying to go between places and to deploy services. They're having a hard time. So we're not expecting heavy deployment yet into the project till maybe mid-June, closer to August, till we start, on heavy deployment, working with different departments and maybe shipping equipment even there. We are working with multiple different divisions in the government there, and we're looking into deploying the street lights, deploying the smart poles into different areas where you will interact with the different services for the customers and government even. Okay, and for the US, I know also there was questions for the US for the 21 cities and the suburbs of Chicago. That project probably will be back active, I would say mid of June. I know early part of, July, mid of July. We are definitely kind of like signed up on a meeting with the initial cities now that we're going back again, and we are getting more of the deployment schedule with them. So we may go back again and get the roadmap for a couple of cities that will immediately start deploying, and I would say within a month or two we will start shipping the equipment to Chicago. And as you see, the solar light, we do have different projects for solar street lights. So we're working, like Bassem said, we're working in different parts of the countries in the world, in Africa and Middle East. Many countries right now, the infrastructure maybe not adequate for just street lights, AC street lights. That means electricity. So we will be utilizing the solar street lights, and that's why we're working with Nomo Group. They've been advanced into some solar deployment, and we're working with them. For a few years we've been working with them on solar lights and many other different products, solar products. So we will be using a combined design between us and them, and it will be U.S. made. The solar panel will be made in U.S. And I want to tell you guys, you did not see the plant of the solar panels that we were, planning on a JV yet, because shortly after, a few weeks after we went and visited some of the plants to actually start deploying for manufacturing, we got into much bigger deals, and those facilities will not be adequate. And maybe shortly we're going to announce about this. If things go well, we will let you know where will be the manufacturing facility in the U.S. It will be huge, much larger than what we anticipated for. The projects that we're working for Africa region, they are massive. So large solar powers, large deployment of streetlights, smart city streetlights. We cannot disclose the exact countries. And actually these countries, they're all depending on the new government, the U.S. government that will be financing all these projects. I'm talking millions of lights, it could be million and a half, 2 million lights deployed in those regions. And it's going to take a few years to deploy. And then we actually will have to work with them on local manufacturing at one point. So that will be shortly. I already have invitation to go to Africa from the prime ministers in multiple countries, and I cannot go now because they are on lockdown too, and possibly mid-August till we open again. I'm really sorry that we cannot expedite things, not because we do not want to. This is a long-term business. Government relations, they are not kind of like you going to Kmart, pull out 2 things and pay for them and go. All projects and relations are very long term, but once you're in and once you signed up, you'll be looking at years. You will never leave after you provided your services and products in many regions. So the other question, let me see what else we need to cover for you. The Los Angeles, we are still working with them. The Los Angeles, we will be deploying, we will be giving them samples because they needed weather stations with the environmental system, and they needed a drive sample. They needed the car to drive around also. That part we don't have. We tried to do a partnership with the local company who has that. So we will see if we can do that. Or we're going to deploy our environmental sensors anyway, because we deploy them in many different projects in any case. The new technology, as Bassem said, we are hoping to, that's another possibly JV. There's a company who's already advanced into the 6E. We may do JV with them instead of inventing the wheel ourselves. And there is big demand for this 6E deployment of wireless communication. You guys will see it soon. It will start coming up. But you guys can look into, like just go into Google and type 6E wireless Wi-Fi, and then you'll start reading about it. And I can publish some stuff for you. Okay, I think one more item before we call it off today, the uplisting. We are diligently working with our accountants, lawyers, and they are working with the auditors. So for us to become QB, it may be 2 months from now, we're not going to hit Q2 on QB. For sure, we're planning to hit on Q3. So Q3, we hope to get that done. So in light of what I said on the projects that we're doing, I just want to let you know that Q3 may see some revenue. Q4 will see for sure, some good size revenue. If we working on those projects in Africa and we get EXIM, also that's another thing you can look up, EXIM, EXIM.gov. It's EXIM financing. EXIM is a government bank that lend money to any customers outside of the U.S. and mostly governments projects and can be private projects too. The governments that we're working with, they provide the bank guarantee, and our U.S. government will give the funding. U.S. government will pay us, and we will go install our products into the country that we're working with. So that's where once we get the approvals and everything, maybe a few months from now, then I can tell you we will start looking at massive deployment and then massive revenue in maybe the year or two to come, and then it will be continuous after that. Project, and that was initially intended with the BIET, and that's for JV. We are working with other countries. We are, trying to deploy, including the US, for this technology. The technology is really very interesting. Nobody has this type of technology in the market, and what it is, it's actually PV and thermal. PV is photovoltaic, and thermal. So basically, you have a solar panel that has two layers. The upper layer is a photovoltaic. It gets the sun, and then it will turn it into energy, into electricity right away, and then you get to use that electricity instantly. The second layer is heating the water beneath that photovoltaic. And that water gets heated up to 140 Celsius. That's the current market. There's many people, they can heat your pool, they can heat your water tank, so you can take a shower and what have you. Most companies in the market now, they heat up to 80 C. 80 C is not sufficient for just power generation. So in this technology we're using, you will go to 140 C. Now you store it in high pressure tanks, and then we generate hydrogen from the photovoltaic part of it. And then the hydrogen, we have turbines that will run and increase the heat from 120 or 140 C to 560 C plus. That will vaporize the water, will go into the turbines, will run the turbines, condense at the other end, will return the water back to the solar panels to heat it back again. The process by itself is an invention. Okay, the solar panels by itself is an invention. And our hope is we're looking very shortly into facilities that we want to build those solar panels in the US, because the future looks very, very bright for this type of technology. Okay, and let me see what else we have. I think we covered most of the items. And by the way, all these projects that when we say we have a project $150 million, the land is given from the government. So if we're doing $150 million project, that's a 50 megawatt. So the land is given from the local government, and the bank guarantee, which is in turn is called power purchase agreement. That means whatever power we generate, they will have to buy. When we sign that contract, their finance ministry have to guarantee it. Power is generated, power paid for, and that's how we finance everything. Okay, so I'm not taking this money from my personal bank account. Okay, I am taking this from bank like Exim Bank and once I have this all agreement and all this land into the project, financing is really a piece of cake at that point. And also about the relations and the government. And believe me, all the governments they want, because everybody's paying outrageous amount of money for electricity nowadays. And the solar power 100% can save you, other than environment, and can save you a lot of money. So I think I covered a lot for you, and I really thank you for participating. We will have many more products coming up. Now as you see, this particular product, which is Viper Team, it will be used in cities. Like what you see this meeting, it can be a city town hall meeting. It will be used into companies. We are working with multiple different companies. We're gonna give away the products very shortly to maybe, let's say, 100 companies, and then like this typical marketing plan that you give away the product for a period of time for free, just for people to try and everything, and then we will start putting the plans for the sale. The product will be mature next 2-3 weeks. We will have the mobile app, and then we'll have maybe the desktop app, and this product will be ready for market. The second product will be ready for market early next month is the Viper UC, Viper Unified Communication. It will include this product in it. So you will have a PBX it's all on the cloud. You as a customer, as a small business, you have 20 seats, you have 20 people working for you. Everyone wants to have a mobile connection or a desktop connection or an actual desktop phone. And then you can use a product like Slack, and then also a product like the Teams. So they're all part of one system. You can physically be talking to people, doing conferences and doing exchange of messages and files and everything through the Slack application, all in one platform. And that's what Viper Unified Communication. Okay, and now the Viper product that for the smart cities, which is the CyberGrab, it is really a major product. I don't want to dumb it down for you. This is a massive product. We actually applied for a world patent, and the patent is almost finished. When you apply for a patent for a product in such magnitude, they physically go into the system and they test it, and they see you're not just just putting a picture. That, oh, I have a product, look at the picture. They went through all details and they saw this. It works, it does what it says, and what have you. And that's how we were awarded. And very shortly, maybe a week or so, maybe I'll be able to share with you the patent, and you guys will see. So why did we patent it? Okay, we patent it because we don't want to go to a market that somebody have similar product, and then they come and say, oh, you cannot use our service, you cannot use this because we were ahead of you. You know what? We are patented. I don't care who launched before. We were patented before. I will use it, and guess what? I can even ask them to pay me if they are infringing on my patent. So this is going to be deployed in Sri Lanka, which is actually starting now. We are working on different modules there. It will be deployed in South Africa, Caribbean. Those are chosen markets because we are working with local people, and then we're going to go expand to actual bigger markets and relations that we have, larger markets. Of course, the U.S. is huge, and Europe, and inside this application, you can actually send money. We are working, on different transferring money between peer-to-peer between users. You can actually send money to your brother, your friend, what have you, and then they can use that within our network, or they can go to a bank and cash it. So right now we are limiting that exchange into country, geographical location. So if you are in the US, you can send money to somebody in the US, but we're working on a different relation where if you are in, let's say, Germany, and you want to send somebody in Nicaragua, guess what? Boom, you're open. You can cross geographical limits. So that will be like a Western Union type of thing. And how does Viper make money? Transactions. That's how we make money. We're not selling that software. That software is for partnerships and for our usage. So we go to a country and we deploy. We will offer services, our own services, and we will have whatever local services we combine. So you want to get a ride like Uber, you want to buy groceries, you want to ship them, you want to go pick them up. It's all transaction. Every transaction will make a little percent, you know. And if you look at the numbers, then try to build like a Excel spreadsheet and look at an example. We're not making big money. We're making maybe 1-2% on each transaction. That's all what we need. But those 1-2% can be millions per day. So that's the goal. So it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen with little work and there's time. And I can show you numbers that some companies raise $40 billion because they have one market in one country. But you know, it takes time for you to build that market. The main thing here, we have it open for different services. So for example, we're looking into medical service, especially with this COVID now. People are not able to go to hospitals and not able to go to see doctors and what have you. So what we're trying to do remote, we're trying to test it in Sri Lanka. So we go to villages, we will work with some shops, some areas, what have you, to establish a little cubicle that becomes your little clinic. And we will put the equipment, the video, the thermometers, and whatever have you, equipment that a person can walk in and will connect, maybe using this Teams application, and will connect to one of the doctors that is signed up. So currently we test it with local market, then we will open the market to countrywide, then we open it cross-geographical. Medical licensing, for example, in the United States, as you see, if you are a doctor in the United States, you cannot practice wherever you want to. You have to be certified into, you know, the states that you're going to work in. So if you're a doctor and you have a license in California, you cannot just jump in and go to Idaho and think you can practice. You have to go get a license in Idaho. So it is very regulated in the U.S. Outside the U.S., not as much regulation, so we can contract with certain doctors and they can be on that service. Other services, what we can do is we're looking into later on, for example, adding charging stations for electrical motorcycles that they have batteries. You can do battery swapping. Of course, we're working on the EV charging stations that on the smart pole. So we have the smart pole that typically, as you see on our website, we have the charging stations, we have the advertising panels, the communication, the sensors, what have you. All these things they come on the smart pole, as you see on thank you, Bassem. And as you see, all these come on the smart pole. So the smart pole, by the way, this panel, this is like a 1 point something meter, let's say 1.25, 1.4 meters and 0.75 meter. This becomes a sail in high wind day. So this pole is not a little itty bitty pole that you go driving down your road and you see a smart pole, you see a street light pole. This has to be a heavy pole that can hold the wind loading Otherwise, that's if you get a hurricane in an area, that thing will fly, literally will fly. So it needs to withstand certain category wind. We test up to 160 kilometers, mostly like typhoons and stuff, because anything above that, I don't think anything will live anyway. I've seen that in Florida, by the way, during some hurricane seasons. So anyway, so this is a lot of updates for you, and we will do more of these things, and I'm going to do something like in a weekend, and maybe we get more people, and we want to test more, because the idea is this product, for example, if we go to a big conference, I'm talking 100,000 people, maybe 1 million people. So you know why we're asking that we want to test so far, and we thank you for this joining, because I mean we can do simulation. Simulation is not as good as real, real connections. So the idea why we're asking people to join, because we have customers looking for this massive number of like webinar and motivational speaking and maybe a church, or maybe city with big big cities and stuff. They do big conferences, so all these things require massive connections, and that's why we're offering these type of services. But we will do more testing, and we keep going on it, and we keep asking you, and we hope for you to participate. And at the same time, I will keep giving you more updates on our project. I like our product to be our form of communication. As you see, we do not have to listen to nobody. We do not have to talk to nobody to get permission. And we are secured 100%. This is a secured product. I can tell you, nobody's going to come in and draw some stupid messages on my screen. And nobody's going to go trolling like last time. So I appreciate you guys listening to me, and Basim and everybody with our team. And I thank you again. And I will say good night to everybody. I will end the meeting now.